So let's talk about our portfolio pages. Once you have a portfolio set up, you will be making portfolio pages. And I want to talk you through the guidelines for it and show you an example of some portfolio pages that have these guidelines that you can see in person. For every portfolio page, we're going to talk about the name of the project that we made, have some pictures or videos of the project that you made, talk about the prompt. For CDE 1, it's just the prompt that we give you. As you do CDE 2 or 3, you'll be able to have more control over the project that you're making, so you're going to talk about what it is or why you chose to make it. The design rationale, talking about the choices that you made while designing it. I'll list the materials and tools that you used, and then step by step through the process of making it, including some in-progress pictures and a reflection at the end that talks about the project in the context of our standards. Now, we're going to start small and basic at the beginning of the year and build expectations onto it as we go throughout the year. So we'll start, and I'll talk about what's expected in T1, T2, T3 of CD and E. And we're going to use this portfolio page as an example, so we can take a look at what is there, what isn't there, and what the expectations are for this. So, title for the project. This is physical computing. The name of this project wound up being musical flower vase, so it's right there. The final project display, you can see the pictures are right there. You see the front, you see some behind the scenes of how it was all laid out. The prompt, all right? So there's a rephrasing of the prompt in here. You're welcome to just use the actual prompt that we give you, copy paste it in there as you see it. So that can be what is in there for your prompt. The design rationale. So beginning of the year, first trimester, you don't need to talk about your design. We're going to be talking about it in class. You're going to be reflecting on it in class and sharing with other people. Doesn't need to be on your portfolio page. Trimester 2, a sentence or two about your design choice. I chose to make it like this because why? I chose to make it this color because of these reasons. So just a sentence or two about why some of the elements that are present in the design are there. Trimester 3 and beyond, talking about the whole story of the design rationale. So we're not just talking about what's present, we're talking about why you made these choices, and we're talking about it in a way that's engaging to the people that are checking out your portfolio. All right, let's talk materials. Materials on this project page are listed all down there. You could do it as a separate section. You can do it as one of the steps of your project, as long as they are listed there. In CDE 1, just talk about what you used. In CDE 2, you're going to talk about how much you used. Square footage or length of wire or what have you. So CDE 1, we're just talking about what you wound up using. For our steps, for our progression, all right. Trimester 1, again, we're starting out slow. This is new. This is a brand new process, and we want to kind of ease into it. So for our projects in trimester 1 and trimester 2, definitely include anything that you put into your engineering notebook, your project page in there, any sketches that you did, any feedback that you got from folks. And you're also going to include step-by-step directions or your step-by-steps that you followed. As much as you can, include in-progress pictures. Will help remind you to take some, but we're really focusing on the process of doing the building rather than capturing the building. Trimester 3, those step-by-steps need to turn into a narrative instead of do this, do this, do this. Turn it into full sentences, turn it into a kind of like a narrative story, and we want to have a ton of in-progress pictures. Basically, every time you get to a next step, take a picture, take a picture, take a picture. The goal is for these to be descriptive enough that someone can envision the project without actually seeing it. CD2, CD3, we're going to include video. CD3 and 4, they actually turn these project pages into full videos. So it's building upon this storytelling element and getting it in a way that's engaging to the people that are checking it out. And let's talk reflection. You can see more of the in-progress pictures down here. All the steps are there. Awesome. Talking about reflection. This project page doesn't have a reflection. This was made before we had the reflection requirement for it. That's okay. This project page does have a reflection, which is awesome. Let's scroll down to it at the bottom. For CDE 1, trimester 1, don't worry about the reflection, okay? Think about some of the standards that we did. Think about how you grew in them, but we don't need to capture it on the portfolio page. For trimester 2, you need to talk about how you grew in at least one of the standards. Say, I knew that I grew as a designer because for this reason. Over the course of all of our projects, we're going to get through all 6 of the standards, and that's going to make sure that you hit all the standards as we go through all of our projects. At the end of the year, talking about 2 different standards. So trimester 2, we're talking about I knew that I grew as a designer, I knew that I grew as a curator, or what have you, so that we get through all of our standards, and you can give a specific example of what you did. All right, the more specificity you have on how you know that you grew, the better. All right, and I think that's it. That's you can see there's a couple of portfolio pages that I have up that I like the layout of. I like the feel of them, so you can see them. There's links to them in our portfolio page guidelines doc that you should take a look at and check those out. The other places that you can check for inspiration are our Instructables. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Instructables pages. This is where we got our inspiration for our portfolio page and our layout. So you can see same thing here. Title, the finished project. They have a video, which is awesome. Talking about what they made, why, talking about their materials, and their step-by-step. So if you want like peak portfolio pages, go check out Instructables and go check out any of the highly rated projects on there. But that is taking you through our portfolio pages and what we're going to be making to capture our work in this class.